doing his job at the moment.
Let's take a look at how machine guns work in this game. Okay, so the first basic use is you just go prone, select the target, and you start shooting. Now, this already gives you an advantage over regular weapons because you fire a lot of rounds and it's relatively accurate. And it only takes a small amount of AP. At least 4, I think up to 7 AP, depending how many rounds are fired. Okay, so click. You can see that they can almost kill a character. And this is relatively late in the game and I'm playing really hard difficulty levels. Okay, however, that's not the most complex way to use machine guns. Okay, so let's take a look again. Okay, so the proper way to use it, as the game supports, you take this here, set machine gun, and you select a cone and click. So what happens now, as soon as combat starts, any action the enemy takes, with some very small exceptions, which means starting to move or just trying to shoot at you, will provoke a interrupt where the machine gunner fires a burst. It even works if you use the weapon and have no more action points left when the enemy is moving. Okay, so you get up to 3 interrupts per round. Okay, so we got her set up. Now I'm going to fire one shot to provoke him.
Aiming. Igor, I am overcome with curiosity. How much are you getting paid for this contract?
Adolvich never discloses details of contract, my friend.
Okay, he walked into the cone. And he's almost dead. And the cool thing is, it doesn't just react to movement, also to enemies trying to shoot back at you.
It is too bad, though. I was hoping we could have a nice friendly chat.
Okay, see, that was just me initiating combat, the enemy reacting to my moves. I'm almost out of action points. If I press end turn, he again gets 3 interrupts to any movement in that cone. Okay, let's see.
One in the open.
Okay, and the turn is over. See, now I could, for example, switch the cone and start shooting in that direction. And then later get my 3 interrupts even after that. Okay, well, I made one mistake on purpose here. Notice my positioning over here. The cliff is a good thing to place a machine gun on because you have elevated position. The problem is I'm relatively close to the enemy. So what the enemy could have done, if I would have missed a few shots, they could have rushed up here for a melee attack or get out of the area she can see with a machine gun. Okay, so let's refine the tactic a bit more.
Enemy soldier. Looks like he is just doing.
Now I'm going to reposition her a bit. So there's more distance between her and the enemy. So, and also if the further the enemy away is away from you, the more space is in the cone. Okay, so let's position her up here. So ideally you want to set up the machine gunner so it's not the first thing the enemy sees, so it's something the enemy basically runs into trying to get to somebody else. Now set up the cone. Notice the cone is obviously wide at the distance. And the enemy is likely going to take cover up here, so I'm going to put the cone up to here. And I'm going to start shooting from here so the enemy gets drawn in this area.
Igor, I am overcome with curiosity. How much are you getting paid for this contract?
Adolvich never discloses details of contract, my friend.
Almost got 2 guys.
That is very professional of you. I respect that. It is too bad, though.
So even that sniper's in the cone. So if he raises the weapon, he's likely going to get shot at. Whether it's going to be hit at a distance, I don't know. Now end turn.
Your friends come bearing gifts.
pay for that.
Okay, as you can see here, the machine gun almost did all the work here. It wounded, I think, every single enemy in the map so far. And I think 2 or 3 already killed. Okay, now I'm going to show you one more thing. So you can even refine the tactic a bit more if you have more than one machine gunner. And it will actually have a second machine gunner in this squad. Okay, so
Enemies.
you can see here, Grizzly. Here's a machine gun too, here's an RPK. So what I could have, for example, done is place buns up here to have this area in the cone, sneak Grizzly up here, up to this point, and create another cone up here, so there's a crossfire from 2 directions. So the enemy has to split up and cannot concentrate all his forces trying to get out of one cone.